Ghost Cult Magazine is proud to welcome back our old friend, Anneke van Giersbergen. How are you, Anneke?
All good. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for spending some of your day with us. I know you're really busy doing press for this brand new album, uh, "The Dark Skies Are the Brightest." It's uh, it's quite a journey of a record. I know it was a journey of a record to make for you, but of course, before we even talk about music or anything else, I just want to make sure I don't lose the chance to make sure you're well, your family's well, everybody, your band, your crew, all your different collaborators, because it's been such a tough time in the world for everybody. And I don't want to lose that part of it, as much as I'm excited to talk about art and music, we're all still living through this collective thing together that's insane.
It is definitely, it is. The world is on fire, but I myself am getting through it, and I am lucky with a lot of things, blessed with a lot of things like my family. And 99% of my income went out the window as we couldn't play live anymore. So there are some challenges, and of course, but I see so many people around me going bankrupt or going depressed, or they're getting ill. So it's hard to watch, and it's sad, but um I hope we as artists can stay creative, and try to find new ways to keep our heads above water, and deal with this situation.
Indeed, indeed. I was gonna say this is probably the longest period of time you have not done a tour or even just a small tour in your whole career, probably.
Yeah, totally. When the first lockdown occurred, I didn't know what to do, because I've been, working so hard for 25 years in a row, that I didn't know what to do with myself, other than Netflixing, and, but also just mentally trying to deal with the whole new situation. And we knew from the start, this is going to change everything in the world, whole new experience for everybody. Soon enough we have to kind of try to come to terms with this fact that we are facing, and try to be creative, and look for how to deal with it. Yeah.
Right, we're all learning together on the fly.
Yeah.
Even Zoom, which I had never used before last year, this time
Yeah,
I think they
me
went
neither.
from something like 100, right, all of us, they went from like 100,000 users to like 2 billion worldwide in a month. So we're all learning how to scale our lives up at the same time: technology,
Yeah.
the human race, each other, our industry. What are the new realities of these things? So I'm very sensitive to that, of course. And it's no little thing. It's no little thing to have to completely almost recreate yourself and envision your future career in a whole new way.
Yeah, yeah, you're absolutely right. It's a task, and everybody goes about it their own way. What makes me sad is that a lot of people choose to stand opposite each other, to choose hate over love, to choose doubt over hope, and um, you know, but I think you and me, and people and artists and journalists, we can also put some positivity into the world, because we have a platform, we have music, we have something to share, and I think we have to use that in a as a positive way as we can.
Nice. Yeah, same here. That's what I've been trying to do. Just personally work to improve whatever I'm working on, and also spread that positivity around and up,
Yeah.
hopefully, as much as I get sad without any shows, or, a whole different way of life, like I said, try to uplift whoever I can, help artists, whatever I can do.
Mm.
And whenever I see somebody doing that, whether it's artist to artist or like something like Bandcamp Friday, I try to spread the
Yeah.
word from like my mountaintop with get on a mountaintop and yell, because this digital mountaintop, because that's all we really have.
Mm.
How can we
Yeah.
lift each other up? So I'm really glad that you found a way through, and we continue to find a way through, because it's not over. You have
Yeah.
been very busy. You were already in the middle of, or you had released the Ver album, which was wonderful, really heavy, awesome stuff, kind of like a throwback a little bit to some other work of yours. And now we have this completely different vibe with Darkest Skies of the Brightest. And I know it's a very personal record for you. So without prying too much, I wanted to kind of ask you, obviously, if you wanted to talk a little bit about sort of the impetus to not just change sonically, but obviously it's a very emotional, personal record for you.
Yeah, yeah, indeed. There was a point in my life, like a few years ago, there was like a lot of stuff at the same time was happening, both in my private life, with my marriage, my family. Um, for me and my husband separately, we had stuff going on, and then there was my band Vuur and the whole work stuff with music. There was so much at the same time, as that, is always what happens in life. Everything comes at the same time. And it was such a confusing time that I was actually writing songs for the new Vuur album. So I was trying to write metal heavy stuff. And everything that came out of my pen, because of everything that was happening, was like super different. And I surprised myself, it was all melancholic, soft, gentle stuff came out. And so there was a moment in that period where I pulled the brakes and let everything go, and all the plans that I was about to pursue, that I let go of everything, retrieved to a little house near the woods, scary house, and where there was nothing, no distractions, no bullshit. And I started writing this album, and this is what came out. And I surprised myself, man. I didn't know I would ever write a rootsy kind of, you know, album, with folk influences. Yeah, but that's what it is. It's the most honest thing I've written until now.
Nice. And you're no stranger to, sort of chill arrangements that you toured just by yourself with the guitar. But
Yeah.
this is really special, very unique, like you said, folksy. But I think it's even more than that. There's very, everything about the instrumentation, whether it's very subtle brass or really cool percussion. It's a whole new way of music for you, really. It's something really unique to this album and your whole career.
It is. It is. And sometimes, like when you really don't think about anything, like what does a record company want? What does the fan want? What does anybody want? You just close your eyes and write music. You really uh, write what your heart tells you to, and you never know up front what that is. So, yeah, in that perspective, you can surprise yourself, and that's even cool, that you can always reinvent yourself whenever you want to.
And it's important for the journey as an artist, because you don't want to be, and you never really have done two albums the same twice ever, but you certainly don't want to repeat yourself, and you want to continue to challenge yourself, right? So that's
Yeah,
also important.
yeah, it is. It is important. It's how you keep yourself creatively challenged, and it's also your life doesn't become, even when you're an artist and you tour a lot, life can become boring if you don't challenge yourself every now and then. You see the same venues, or the same, you do the same thing every day. Although I have to say, in all honesty, sometimes I do so many things, different things at the same time. It kind of I make myself crazy, and I can't really focus on one thing, because there's like four projects at the same time, and a tour here and a record there, and a something with other people there. And a lot of times I said to myself, it's like, that's too much. I'm always tired. I never sleep enough, and I kind of forget about myself when diving deep in all these kind of projects. But so I did, for the last few years, I tried to say no sometimes to cool projects or whatever, or to ideas, and just focus. And now with the pandemic, I mean, it's we had no other choice, but I could concentrate on this album and this album alone. And I think also it became a good album because of that, because of the focus.
Nice. And you know, I definitely appreciate how I'm the kind of person I say yes a lot, and it's hard to be a no person.
Yeah.
And honestly, it's not selfish, it's self-care to say no sometimes. So maybe the one positive thing from this is, you know, beside that, I think we help the planet heal a little bit for a second,
Yeah, that's
but
so good.
not all of us commuting to work and world tours and flights and trucks. Maybe we're also learning how to just focus a little bit on ourselves. Just on a side note, that's good for you personally, and it's hard. I feel guilty sometimes saying no to people when I want to help and say yes, or the same thing, collaborate. And it's like, you know, I have X number of hours in a day to do everything I have to do, and
Yeah.
maybe I can't.
No, and you need sleep, and you need food, and you need Netflix time, and you need time with the family. And I have the same thing as you. I also like a lot of things and a lot of people, so that's also why I say no. I don't say no a lot, but like you said, so important, self-care. I'm just learning about it, man. I'm 47, just learning about how to take really, like, genuinely take care of yourself by just going to bed at the proper time. Or take a moment for yourself, or have a coffee by yourself, or to and cherish these moments. And then your battery is actually the batteries of these things.
Well, there we go. I still hear you.
Yeah,
Are you okay?
yeah.
All right,
Good,
as
good.
long as you
Yeah.
can hear me. No
I
worries. This
I
is it.
said
Techno.
battery and the battery. Yeah.
Well,
Crazy.
okay, we won't jinx ourselves. Yeah, it's again, all these things. You have to be ready for the unexpected in life, just like this
Yeah.
last year has been. Um, Another thing, obviously, the different instrumentation has allowed your voice to come through in an interesting and new ways. But I love the lyrics on this record. And again, we talked about how personal it was to you, but I actually find a lot of it sort of a mix of sad and also up, like, you know, rejuvenating, like uplifting. Like you definitely, there's a journey, but also like it's mostly positive at the end, which I love. Do you, or just in general, when you go to write lyrics, do you just always journal and keep lyrics, or do you write them as you need them for the songs?
Both, but I do keep a journal, and I always, well, nowadays you have the phone, and whenever you're on the train or whatever you think about lyrics or chunks come into your head, you can write them down. Sometimes in the middle of the night, I take my phone and I start whispering, vocal lines, in your phone when you come up with melodies or lyrics. But I used to, pre-mobile phone days, I used to have little notepad, because everything it can inspire, people on the train or people somewhere, or something you go through. And I always keep track of my, the whims I have.
Nice. I particularly like, I think probably my favorite song on here that's just so random and different from anything you've ever done is the I Saw a Car song. Because it's so cool and unique. I think like just very, very different than anything you've ever done. It's almost like a little blues, like a
Yeah,
little, like a folksy blues song.
yeah,
Like the Beatles used to play skiffle when they first started out, like very early
yeah,
60s
yeah, yeah,
folk.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
really liked it, and it definitely brought a new flavor for your voice also, because you sang a little differently on the track too.
That's true. It's a little bit of an odd one out, indeed, and it's a song that kind of makes me happy when I play. When I wrote it, I knew it was an odd one out, but yet I put it on the album because it made me happy writing and recording it. And I think it's also one of those songs that's going to do well live. At least I hope, because it's, it has dark lyrics, but it is a fun song. And I also wanted also to have the album this balance of, hope and lightness, as well as the darkness and the sadness on there. It has to have a balance within a song, but also within the album.
I think one of the things that helps that song feel a little stronger and less mournful is the beat is very almost like a gospel or a church song, like
Yeah.
very sacred music in a way, but also with the blues and the soulfulness. So I really
Yeah.
love that mix. You really hit on these things. And again, there's all these moments on the album that have like there's a very brassy horn section, and then there'll be like a very not a swell, but like a very cool crescendo a little bit. Of the parts of the songs, the motifs. So it's really cool the way you put these things together, and I do hope you get to play these things live. I don't know if you are a fan of live streams or anything. You've done so many concerts and concert DVDs, so I know you appreciate how hard it is with the technology to get these things right. But clearly, this music was meant to be performed like by you live.
Yeah, yeah. And I hope, man, I mean, I am rehearsing these songs on the guitar, just me and the guitar, just to keep stretching my vocal cords and to, to keeping in a flow. Um, and for the moment that we get the green light, I will be ready to go out and play. Um, so for sure I'm going to play these songs. And like, as far as streaming um, concerts go, I am working on something really special to accompany the album's release, to go online, something to stream, like a streaming event, something special. Um, and I think, that's something we can all do now in this period of time. And yeah, and then when we can go out live, I mean, that's the ultimate thing for me. It's the best thing in the world. It's just to play where there's people in the room and we can share, and put this energy back and forth to each other. That's for me the best thing. But this the next best thing, to make use of, you know the things that we have nowadays in our modern age is the internet and the streaming, the whole thing. So that's great to use. Yeah.
Yeah, of course. And I was thinking about this also. You are such a great performer, and you're used to usually theaters and clubs and more intimate shows, which I don't know. I personally have no idea when I'm going to be ready to go to a show. I'm missing them a lot. You might be able to do shows. I could see Europe especially can have seated shows probably sooner. This music would probably translate to it well. Some of the stuff you did on your solo acoustic tour could also work, of course, in that kind of show if you were going to do a longer set. I'm sure we're all going to be like so raring to go, so excited once we can finally play a show. It's going to be insane. But I can also see the fear. When will you feel comfortable to go sing in front of people and have a room,
Yeah.
be in a room of people? I'm sure it's nerve wracking a
Yeah,
little.
it is, because we're totally out of it. We, even though if we do every once in a while we do a streaming concert, it's not the same thing. You're out of the loop. You're out of your comfort, um, comfortable feeling of playing every day or performing. Some songs, especially when you have the new songs, they kind of become, yeah, they have a second life when they're performed live. So that that build up and that energy is we all lack now. So I'm rusty. I feel rusty. So like you said, when we can play live again, I think we need a little bit of time to adjust again and to go out like a diesel train, to go rolling, to get it on the tracks again. But we'll do it. We'll take the time and we'll get there eventually.
I know we will. Generally speaking, I've been very hopeful. Things are slowly, I feel like we're starting to turn a corner here in America and get a little bit better. I'm not promising anything. I'm not in charge, but I'd like for it to, hopefully happen by the summer or fall at the worst, where we start to have, it seems like things are starting to open up again. I would imagine, my faith is always in Europe, that your part of the world is going to open up sooner and be better than we will be. That's just my impression generally from having been out there. And of course, as soon as you can, you want to play. And obviously, I don't know if, obviously, you said you were going through a lot of changes. I don't know if Ver was kind of winding down, or if it's something you thought about in the future, maybe bringing back again. Because I personally loved it, and I think you enjoyed doing it. I think it was something a lot of people really liked. I know, obviously, the timing could have been better for you.
Yeah, that's the thing. I had to, from what I explained, write this solo acoustic album. But the thing is that whenever I do something heavy or prog or rock, whatever, I want to do that under the moniker Vuur. So Vuur exists, the name exists, this first album exists. And if I want to go back to writing something heavy with whomever, from the scene, write an album with somebody or multiple people, then I will do this under the name Vuur, and I will get the train back on track and start rolling again. It was undoable now, and but it doesn't mean that it's gone, so but for now, and obviously we have to wait until we go can do the proper tours again. So for the coming extensive time, I will focus on this album and just go on tour by myself with the guitar and do these more intimate shows.
Nice, and the music deserves that. Again, I truly believe this album deserves to get heard. And in the meantime, there's always a chance somebody will reach out to you, like a Devin Townsend or Arjen Lucassen, and you've done such magical stuff with those two artists in particular. But a lot of artists have always sought you out to be a guest vocalist. Do you have a studio in your home that you can do remote stuff from, recording?
Yeah, I'm sitting in it right now. I have my little room in our house, and I have my little recording setup, and it's always ready. So I'm here a lot of the time during the day, and then I write and record here, do my demos here, do my lyrics here, but I also Netflix here, listen to music, go on Spotify, and so it's like my little room where everything, like my memorabilia are, and stuff like that. So yeah,
Nice.
yeah, I can definitely create here.
Nice. Now that you mentioned it like 3 times, I have to ask you, what have you been watching on Netflix, or what have you been listening to that you've been enjoying?
I think everything known to mankind I've watched. But yeah, and then I blanked out. This long, like this 8 seasons of, I'm totally blanking out on titles. Right now I'm watching a series called Back, and it's situated in Sweden, and we watch a lot of murder mysteries and detective stuff. So it's about a detective called Beck, but it's all in Swedish, so we have to read the subtitles. But Nordic criminal series are great. I don't know if you're into them, but stuff from Norway, Denmark, Sweden, it's all really, really good to watch. So we watch a lot of that.
I heard they like a lot of thrillers and crime shows. That's interesting.
Yeah, very.
I think we just watched here Lupin, which is the French show. That's a 2-part miniseries, 5 episodes now and 5 in July. And it's made from France. That's also really excellent. And we watched it. I don't speak French, but we watched it with the subtitles and not the overdub, because terrible. So nobody wants to hear English overdubbed in the whole world.
You have
Nobody.
to just read. Yeah.
Nice, exactly. Just for a last thing, and I really appreciate you. I want to give you back your day. I'm sure you're busy. I had to mention this because it's exciting to me, at least. There are 2 vinyl reissues of the first 2 Gathering albums coming out on Transcending Records. And of course, we're talking about 25, 26 years ago, but I still feel like these records, I listen to them, I keep up with your whole career. So I still go back and listen to that stuff. And I never thought vinyl would make a huge comeback like it has. So I think it's really cool for fans that these 2 albums are being beautifully redone. Transcending Records is a very good label, by the way. They do nice stuff. So I wondered if you were interested in that or had any thoughts to share. It's very cool that these vinyls are going to be available again.
Yeah, well, I have nothing to do with those releases, because it's like the Gathering who kind of who do that, who make these decisions to reissue. But they do this a lot, and I think they always do it in a very, very tasteful manner. I mean, always the artwork is beautiful, and so, and they send them to me. So it's cool to have them, and to see that people like you really, really enjoy these reissues and still listen to the old records. And And so that makes me happy. For the rest, I have no credits there. It's all the guys who are doing this. So, but I'm happy and I know, man, the finals thing is, you know that I'm pre-releasing pre-selling my album, so you can pre-order it, and I sell more vinyl than CDs, and I have this lovely digipack, and people often order both because they want physical product, so that's fantastic. But I bought in more CDs than LPs, but I should have done it the other way around, because I sell more vinyl for some reason. And it's beautiful. Nowadays we can pick, the color of the vinyl, and it's just so beautiful to have. So I'm also happy with the comeback of the vinyl.
Nice. And it's a very lovely, the album art is lovely with the beautiful photo, and the music video is very similar with the beach and the sun. So I think it fits the album wonderfully. The Darkest Skies Are the Brightest is coming out on Inside Out Music, your label, on February 26th. Anneke, it is always wonderful to see you and talk shop with you about your career.
Thank you.
Thank you for being amazing. I hope we get back to shows soon, but in the meantime, we'll keep our ears peeled for more stuff from you soon.
Well, thank you very much, Keith, for taking the time. That's great. Thanks.